Hello, students. By the grace of God, I hope all are good and safe. Let me start the class with an quote. Study while others are sleeping, work while others are laughing, prepare while others are playing, dream while others are wishing. Today, we are going to start new unit. Before going into the unit, let me ask some questions. You are going to guess the chapter name. I will give you a clue. What will you do when you feel thirsty? We will drink water. Good. The name of the chapter 3 is water. In today's class, we are going to see introduction to water, physical properties of water, and water as an universal solvent. Can we live without water? We can live without food for few days, but we cannot live without water. So, water is very important for us. More than 70% of earth is made up of water. Our human body is made up of 70% water. Henry Cavendish was first proposed that we can form water by 2 volumes of hydrogen and 1 volume of oxygen. Water has the chemical formula H2O. In water, the 2 hydrogen atoms are bonded to 1 oxygen atom. Water can exist in 3 physical states. They are solid, liquid and gas. Solid form of water is called as ice, liquid form is called as water and gaseous form is called as water vapor or steam. Water can occur both in free and combined state. Now let's look out some of its physical properties. The first property we are going to see is its nature. Take a glass of water and observe. Does the water has any color? No, it is colorless. Does it have any odor? Yeah, it is odorless. So, the pure water is colorless, odorless and tasteless. But normal drinking water that we are using has some minerals and dissolved gases which gives slight taste to water. So, normal drinking water has some slight taste. But we talk of pure water, it is tasteless. The next property is boiling point. The boiling point is the temperature at which the liquid state changes into the gaseous state. The boiling point of water is 100 degree Celsius at which water changes its liquid state to gaseous state. In hilly places like Mount Everest, there the temperature will be low as 70 degree Celsius. So, food will not be cooked properly. To solve this problem, pressure cookers are used, where higher the pressure, greater will be the boiling point. The next property is freezing point. Freezing point of water is 0 degree Celsius. This is the temperature at which liquid form changes into solid form, that is ice cubes. Here the freezing point of water will be decreased as we increase the pressure. This is due to the presence of dissolved impurities in water. The next property is density. When we take a 4 degree Celsius water, its density is 1 gram per centimeter cube or 1000 kilogram meter cube. So, at 4 degrees Celsius, the water expands on freezing. the volume of 92 volume of water will become 100 volumes of ice, and therefore the ice floats on water. The next property of water we are going to see is anomalous expansion of water. Anomalous means unusual. Water has a unique property. When we first cool water from 10 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius, the density will be increased. As it is increased, the volume will be decreased. So, water contracts. At 4 degrees Celsius, the density will be maximum. Then, after 4 degrees Celsius, we further cool the water. We can observe its unique behavior. That is, density further decreases. As the density decreases, there will be formation of ice, which has lesser density when compared to water. And this is the reason why ice floats on water. This property of anomalous expansion of water helps the marine life to exist in colder region. At 0 degrees Celsius, ice formation takes place and it floats on water. As it has lesser density compared to water, so even though there is ice formation, there will be water at the bottom. And this helps the marine life to survive in colder region. Latent heat of fusion of ice is the next property. First, let me tell you what is meant by latent. The word latent means hidden. Let us consider an ice cube is melted by heating continuously. You will find that even though the ice is melting continuously, it changes into liquid, but the temperature is not increased unless and until the entire water is converted into liquid. This amount of energy required for ice to change into water is called as latent heat of fusion of ice. The specific value of latent heat of fusion of ice is 336 joule per gram or 80 calories per gram. This is the reason why lakes and rivers do not freeze suddenly. The next similar property is latent heat of vaporization of water. Here we are going to heat water constantly and it will start boiling at 100 degrees Celsius. You will find that even though it is boiling constantly, the liquid changes to vapor, but the temperature will not increase unless and until the entire water is getting converted into vapor. So, the energy required to change water into its vapor at its boiling point without any change in temperature is called as latent heat of vaporization of water. And its specific value is 2268 joule per gram or 540 calories per gram. This is the reason why sweating takes heat from body and gives cooling effect on the body. The last property of water is specific heat capacity. Have you ever went to beaches? Yes, there the climate will be moderate and pleasant. That is neither too cold nor too hot. This is because of specific heat capacity. The specific heat capacity is that 1 gram of water is heated through 1 degree Celsius. It absorbs 4.2 joule or 1 calories of heat energy. Due to this specific heat energy, Water, property of water. It is used as coolants in motor car, radiators and desert coolers. These are the 8 properties of water. The next topic we are going to discuss is water as an universal solvent. Before going into this topic, let me tell you what is solvent. It is a substance which dissolves to form a solution. Our mother uses water as a solvent when she cooks. Many solutions such as tea, coffee, milk and soups are prepared by using water as solvent. So, water is a remarkable solvent. So, water has the property to dissolve many substances in it. For this reason, we call water as a universal solvent. Not only solids but also gases and other liquids dissolves in water. The one more property of water is that dielectric constant. We all know that water has H plus and OH minus ion. When we add salt NaCl to it, what happens is that opposite charged particle will attract each other. That is, Na plus and OH minus attracts each other and H plus and Cl minus attracts each other. So, the force of attraction between the NaCl is reduced. This is called as dielectric constant. So, the dielectric constant means that ability of substance to dissolve in it. As I already said, water has high dielectric constant. That is, water has the ability to break the force of attraction between the compounds and make substance to dissolve in it. Let's see an experiment to show that ordinary tap water contains dissolved solids. Take a tap water in watch glass and place it over water containing beaker. Now boil the beaker. After all the water is evaporated from the watch glass, cool the watch glass and observe the changes. After cooling, we observe concentric rings of solids. So, these are the dissolved solids left after the evaporation of water. This dissolved solids is observed only in tap water, river water and in well water. But distilled water and rainwater do not contain dissolved solids as they exist in pure form. The dissolved solids means salts, minerals and impurities present in pure water. This dissolved solids helps in development of plants. It also supplies essential minerals needed by our bodies and also adds taste to our drinking water. The next topic is air dissolved in water. In water, oxygen is more stable than nitrogen. So, the composition of the air dissolved in water differs from ordinary air. The compositions are 33% oxygen, 66% nitrogen and 1% carbon dioxide. Let's see another experiment to show that ordinary tap water contains dissolved gases. Take a round bottom flask and fill it with tap water. A graduated tube is filled completely with water. Is inverted over the end of the delivery tube in a trough of water. Now heat the flask. The gas bubbles will collect in the graduated tube and they come in contact with cold water in the tube. So the collected gas bubbles shows that the presence of gases in tap water. This solubility of gas is expressed by volume of that gas dissolved in certain volume of solvent. The gases in the certain dissolved in water can easily expelled by boiling the water. Some of the importance of air dissolved in water is they are used in marine life like fishes for respiration. They are also used in aquatic plants for photosynthesis, which is to prepare their food. It is also used in marine organisms like snails to extract calcium carbonate from calcium bicarbonate to build their shells. So these are the uses of gas dissolved in water. In today's class, we have studied about water and its 8 physical properties. They are nature, boiling point, freezing point, density, anomalous expansion of water, latent heat of fusion of ice, latent heat of vaporization of water, specific heat capacity. Then at last we have studied about water as an universal solvent. By this topic, exercise 3A is completed. The next topics will be discussed in further videos. The assignments and tests will be posted in WhatsApp and Google Classroom. If you are not in Google Classroom, then go to Play Store, install Google Classroom app, then click on plus sign and click join class option and enter the classroom code X75U73G. Then click on join option. Thank you, students.